Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Shanidra, with Beyond the Cover. Yes, where you will discover exactly what it is and what it's going to be. As you can see on me, I have our Amore Too Classy Boutique dress on. As you can see behind me, we have our Amore Too Classy Boutique fuchsia dress to impress. Along with the pink purse to match for you. So, before we get into the show, I'm going to let you know that we are having the camp starting June the 6th through the 16th, and then it will start back up in July. It'll be only 2 weeks in June and then 2 weeks in July. So you want to sign your children up. So I'm going to play that video right now and also play the Amore Too Classy Boutique video. I have so many things in store for you guys. So I will get back with you in just a second. Taking a chance. All right, so as you know, I have so many things in store. I'm sure you guys have this catalog, but we have our spring summer catalog coming out, and it has all the items that you want to get, from jumpsuits to swimsuits. We have the classy swimsuits. I didn't know if I was going to be able to find any classy swimsuits because, swimsuits already show a lot, but God has blessed me to find some classy swimsuits that will have you classy and dressed to impress in your swimsuit. We have swim dresses. It is some beautiful items. I cannot wait till you guys see how classy it's going to be. But yes, I'm beyond excited for that. So hopefully next week, y'all be able to get a sneak peek of our new catalog. Now, this catalog still has the same items, but once the other catalog comes, these items will be 50% off, so we can get rid of the stuff that's in here and move on to the new. So, as you know, I have my journal that I've written in my journal for today's topic of today. I know you are like, what in the world? Rise above it all. I'm in the same boat, sweetheart. The Passover. So, we have to address the Judas in our situation. We have to address them. We can't not address the Judas in the room. That's why Yahweh had to address the Judas in the room. Now, he didn't say Judas in particular when he addressed Judas, but he let Judas know that he knew that what Judas was doing. And Judas thought the whole time, as he's plotting to betray Yahweh, that, like he's getting away with something and he think he's so slick or whatever. But God always tells his children what is going on or what is going on behind the scenes so that we can address these issues and move accordingly to what we know and let them know pretty much that they are not unseen, pretty much. And that's God giving them a chance to repent and to do the right thing. But if they do not, he said that they would not go unpunished. So God is not leaving you behind. I know you're praying for a lot of things and you're wanting things to happen and you're wanting all of this and you're like, God, you the one that showed me this and you want this for me and I didn't even want this for myself. What is happening? What is taking so long? But God is saying he's not leaving you behind. He's waiting on you to leave behind those that don't have your best interest at heart. So we have to address the Judas in the room. And these are the people that are closest to us. I'm not saying for everyone to be looking at everybody around them because it's not everybody, as we know. All of his disciples wasn't Judas. There was just one Judas in the room. So that's all God is saying. And he will show you, just as he showed Yahweh, who the Judas is in the room. Now, when he shows you who Judas is that's in the room, you must move accordingly and address Judas in a way like Yahweh. Yahweh just basically said, one of you guys will betray me. Basically letting them know, I already know what you're doing behind the scenes. There's nothing slick that you're doing behind the scenes that I don't know of. But I'm letting you know that I know what you're doing. And I'm moving accordingly. See, God always has our back and he always prepares us for things so we are not caught off guard. So when things do hit the fan, we're not like, oh, how did this happen? Or where did this come from? Or whatever, because he already prepared us. But if we keep sitting on it and we know stuff is about to happen and we know stuff is going down and we do not address it, then and only then will things get worse and get way out of control because we never addressed it. Now, it's hard and difficult to address the Judas in the room because we know how slick and evil the Judases are. We know their mind frame. We know the way that they think. So, it's hard when it's time to address the Judas in the room. But God is saying we must address the Judas because they are going to be handled, period. So we must do our part in dealing with the issue and letting it be known and addressing it and then moving forward, moving accordingly to what we have already addressed. Not addressing it or moving accordingly only makes it worse. We must deal in order to heal. Judas had been plotting Jesus' death behind Jesus' back the whole time, thinking Jesus didn't know. Once Jesus addressed that he knew before Jesus died, Judas committed suicide. So before, the plots and schemes that he had plotted against Yahweh, he ended up killing himself before before Yahweh supposedly. He didn't die, but we know before his death. So that's basically telling us that because the reason why he committed suicide because he realized that he had wronged an innocent man. Not only an innocent man, but the holy man, the Messiah. If we talking about anointed, he was the most anointed of all of us. So if God is saying mess not with my anointed, and then Judas messed with the Messiah, he messed with Yahweh, you automatically know he was going to get handled. And God handled him, but Yahweh already knew how it was going to play out because he addressed the issue like God told him to. And then he knew that once he addressed it, that, whatever happens after that, God was going to handle and move forward. So the Judas that is plotting against you or doing whatever wrong, it's the main thing you have to address in order for us to rise above and to move forward onto the thing that we are actually asking God to do. But if we are refusing to address these big issues, he cannot take us to the next level with more devils because we're too scared to deal with this little devil. So until we deal in order to heal, he's not going to move us because we must handle what he has us to handle. And it seems like sometimes oh, well, I shouldn't handle this. I'm just going to leave it up to God. And God said faith without works is dead. So we can wait on God all we want, but when God give us the answer, it may not be the answer that we want to deal with, but we must deal with it so that we can move forward, so we can rise above it all. So again, Judas thought he got away, but God said in his word, they will not go unpunished. And you can't do people wrong and expect not to be punished. That's even with our children. I don't tell my children, to do somebody wrong and then, expect not to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. If you hit back or if you do whatever, you're going to get in trouble. So automatically know that. But also with that being said, you automatically, just like we tell our children, if you do wrong, you're going to get punished, period. If you know that you're not supposed to take that, or you're not supposed to get that, or whatever it is, and you do it anyways, you automatically it shouldn't be a surprise when you get in trouble, when you get punished, because you already knew that what you were doing was wrong before you even did it. So you did it anyways, so you should already know that you're going to be punished. So God said, woe to those who return evil for good and good for evil. In Isaiah 5 verse 20, God said, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Meaning that, if in layman's terms, to help everyone out, because people are like, oh, I don't return. If you are doing anything wrong and you justify your wrong, because this is what I tell my children, you cannot justify your wrong. If you're wrong, admit it, own up to it. Admit that you're wrong and move on. But if you don't admit that you're wrong, you are basically calling with the evil thing that you did good, and saying good is evil. And I know it's like, oh no, that's not how it is, but it is in lamest terms. Now I can go beyond that and tell you exactly what it is saying as far as this, but in lamest terms, for you to get in everyday language, when you justify wrong, anything that is wrong, when you justify any of that, you are calling evil good. Because you are justifying your wrong. You're acting like you don't see anything wrong with the evil that you have done. So we must, number one, address that, own up to our wrongs, and move on. So that's all I have to say as far as the rise above it all. We must rise above it all. And in order to rise above it, you can't just say, oh, I'm rising above it, I'm not dealing with that. And rising above it means you're going to deal with it, move accordingly, and heal from it. We're not going to move to the next level or rise up to the next level until we deal with this one devil. Because as we know and as we have heard, that, the higher the level, we're going to deal with more devils. So if we can't address the Judas in the room, just like Yahweh, we don't have to go off on them or point them out or anything like they know. Just like he said, is it I? Yahweh is like, of course, you already know it's you. But he didn't say that. He just was like, you already know. They call themselves out. So you don't have to worry about, oh, are they going to know that I'm talking about them if I don't say that? They know. They knew what they did before they did it. They knew it was wrong when they did it. So you just saying that it's wrong, it's nothing wrong with you. You just have to understand that you have to address that Judas in the room. Address them and let them know that I understand. I already know that someone in here is going to betray me. I'm just letting you know. Basically, I see you. Regardless of if you think that you getting away or it's behind the scenes or whatever, God already showed me what it is and what it's going to be, and I'm letting you know. I already know. Now, when I let you know, once we let them know, whatever the show happens after that, we already know. God is handling it. Just, the plots that the grave that they digging for you, they're going to fall right into it. And that's exactly what happened with Judas. So that's what happened at the Passover. He addressed the issue and he was able to rise above it, as we know. He rose above the tomb and rise up the next day, the third day. Thank you, Lord. So, as you know, we also have to deal in order to heal our finances. So we have Miss Dever on to talk to you guys about how to deal with your finances.
Hello, 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 everyone. And I want to thank again Beyond the Cover for this opportunity to bring you all things financial. I really enjoy talking about finances. Again, I'm Deborah Porter with Destined with Purpose Consulting Group, DWP Consulting Group, and I am happy to bring you information from the 7 pillars of financial wisdom. Last week, remember, we talked about freedom of debt as pillar number 1. So that's sort of a biggie because it's sort of the catch-all, if you will. But we'll go back and explain some of those things a little bit on down the road a little bit. But the second pillar we want to talk about is the pillar of saving. And the pillar of saving is sort of a stronghold with people, if you will, because a lot of times people say, well, I can't save. I live from paycheck to paycheck. And whether you admit it or not, but most of us probably live from paycheck to paycheck and we want to do better. And so one of the things that happened for me, all I can say is the Lord has blessed me immensely. But I read a little cartoon one time and it said that it had all these blessings up on the wall. And when I'll just say Jane got to heaven, Jane said, Lord, where are those blessings up there with my name on it? And he said, these are the things that you could have been blessed with if you had done just a little bit of saving, just a little bit of tithing, just a little bit of just giving me a little bit more. You were doing things, but these were the blessings I had for you, and they were waiting for you if you had just gone that extra mile. So we don't want to have blessings up on the wall that are blessings waiting for us that the Lord is ready to give us because we fail to do one or two things in terms of tithing or investing and saving. But tithing is one thing, saving and investing is another. So I want you to always remember that if you can tithe, you can save. And some people say, well, I can't save. Well, if you're not saving, for the most part, 90% of the time, you're probably not tithing either. I'd rather tithe and then say, Lord, give me the rest to save than to save and not tithe. So it's all, tied together, but you want those blessings that the Lord has for you in terms of saving. And I would definitely put on there tithing because that is a commandment. The Lord has asked us, and has told us to give back, to Him. I mean, He owns it all, but we can do so much more with 90% than we can do with 100%. We said, well, I can't afford to tithe. I can't afford to do that. Well, if you give the Lord 10% as He commands, I mean, you wish you could give much more, but that's His commandment, just 10. So if you do 10 and take the 90, He'll do so much more with that 90. He will just stretch it out. I know Ms. Shanidra is a living witness about how much more He can do with that 90% than we can with the 100. So the second pillar, of course, is the pillar of saving. And so once we know how to put that into action, and the reason why I say saving and then tithing is that which is natural comes first. So if you save, then I always say, well, just kind of pull out 20%, 10% saving, 10% tithing. I am doing what the Lord had asked me to do in terms of the commandment of 10% and giving first fruits. So that would be, what the Lord has asked me to do. And as I said before, believe me, if I just have the 80% to pay for my bills and to pay for the little things that I might need besides groceries and things can get expensive when you think about groceries and gas and just and these are things that maybe not I desire so much that I want. These are just the necessities to live, shelter, food, the whole 9 yards. But I'm telling you, he'll take that 90% or 80% and he will stretch that thing till you think, well, where did that money come from? Where did that money come from? It was just dropped into my account, or it was just dropped it, and I've seen it happen. I got a check, check in the mail. That's for real. That is for real.
Story of my life.
The story of Shanidra's life. That is for real. The story of my life. One time I said, "Oh, I wish I could be like other people and get a check in the mail." And I'm just talking. Well, a little bit down the road, I go to my mailbox. I have a check in the mail. I have some money in my direct deposit into my account. I said, "Where did that come from? How did that happen?" The Lord took my 90%, and here again, He made it, just stretched it as much as He could. So that is real. But I wanted to tell you, teach your children how to save. Once they learn that method or that principle of saving, it's not hard for them to give the Lord when they get grown what they need to do for the Lord, to give to your church, to give to your tithing and your alms. It's not hard. I use my sister as an example. I mean, we grew up in the same household, same parents and everything. But my sister could save. And I'd ask her, sister, can you um, loan me a few little dollars? And now I probably made more money than her, but she could always come out with the few little dollars that I asked her for. And I'm thinking, how does she do that? She always learned how to save. And I was the spender, you have to be careful about impulse spending. I was the spender, but she would just put her little money back, put her little money back. Next thing I know, she purchased something that she had saved for. But that's what we want to do. We want to teach our children how to save. It's not hard. Get a little piggy bank for them and just tell them, if they have, get $1, drop, a dime in there. They may want to drop a little bit more. 10 cents of $1 is that 10%. Or they may want to put 50 cents and keep 50 for themselves. If they get $5, they might want to put $2 in there. You want to teach them how to save, because eventually saving and investing builds wealth. So once you start saving and investing and being able to purchase, property, which never decreases as you get older, being able to purchase property, that's building wealth. You want to leave a legacy for your children. A lot of times we don't leave a legacy of money, if you will. And we don't even have to say wealth, but of money to our children. A lot of times we don't do that, and they have such a hard time moving on. But if we learn that principle of tithing and sowing and reaping and what that means, and the principle of just saving, they will be teaching them that. They will be so much further ahead when they get my age, and that way, they can look back and say, oh, I learned this when I was young. My mommy and my daddy taught me this when I was young, to save. And then that principle flows over into sowing and reaping, and then principle of tithing, that the Lord will give back. He's not going to let you starve. He's going to provide for you. If He provides for the little birds flying around, and they think nothing about what they're going to eat. He dresses the lilies of the field. If He does all that for them, what more will He do for us? So that is what I have for you today. The pillar number 2, the pillar of saving. And then next week, pillar number 3, the pillar of giving. I want to thank Beyond the Cover and Shanidra for allowing me this opportunity.
Yes, you were so right about saving and giving back, because I for myself did not understand the importance of tithing. I'm like, well, I don't really have to tithe or have to save or whatever. But the moment I started actually tithing,
Yes.
And giving, it was just like my whole world changed, because it's not that you're giving necessarily to the church. It's like if you keep in your head that you're giving back to God Himself, Because some people be like, well, no, my church made me mad this week or what. You can't do that.
Mhm.
You have to just, you're giving to God.
Absolutely.
So it don't matter, the church, you just give and you will receive. So that is, I mean, when she touched on that, I was like, wow, because I remember when I didn't think that I had to tithe. Or say, but this is my financial advisor, so she stays on me. But it is important in order for us to grow and rise up to the next level. I mean, the money that we have now, like I showed my kids, when even when I'm down to my last, if I know that God is telling me to sow this, they have seen with their own eyes. I have shown them, they have seen it, that I could give $10 and then $1,000. This is no lie. This is no nothing. Or $3,000, $4,000 will just appear into my account. Just for that little bit, $10 or $200, God will drop $5,000, $6,000 into my account. So I'm a living witness. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So what she is saying is true. We must deal with our savings and start to save. So that's all we have today for you to know. The Beyond the Cover Academy again starts June the 6th through the 17th. So I'm going to put that flyer on there for you guys and leave you with how you can view the Beyond the Cover show.